What's the world going on, y'all, in this modern society? What is going on out here in this modern society? People can't sit in a parade, can't stand and enjoy a victory of a Super Bowl parade? Are you serious? Well, let me tell y'all what happened. These people right here, y'all, was celebrating the win of the Super Bowl in Kansas City until several shots near the Super Bowl parade. It was near the Super Bowl parade, y'all. You can't even. It was 10 people taken to the hospital, y'all. Not one, not two, but 10. Why you shooting around a whole lot of people and their kids and their families? Now, 10 people taken to the hospital, y'all, in connection with the shooting. Inside near the Chief parade. It was 2 men detained, y'all. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Lord have mercy. Can't even have a parade without acting a fool. It's always got to be a fool. But check this out.
On golf carts, on gurneys. We do not know the extent of injuries. There are very few details that have in fact been confirmed, but we do know from the Kansas City Police Department that 2 armed people have been detained for additional investigation. We do not know if that is the full extent of the people who were behind this. It is still an active scene. We know that there were injuries. The Associated Press reporting between 8 to 10 injuries. We do not know if those are gunshot wounds. We do not know if those were people who were injured in the ensuing chaos. We know that police have asked people to move outside of this area. We are still assessing the damage. We're still assessing what the motivations may have been for those shootings. So we are trying to separate what we do know for you from what we are hearing. And of course, in a big... She is a former Assistant Secretary for Counterterrorism Threat Prevention and Law Enforcement Policy for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Sam, can you talk to us about what your views are on this unfolding situation and what's jumping out to you at this point? Certainly. Unfortunately, as we know, parades are highly vulnerable events when it comes to potential shootings. We had an unfortunate incident in Highland Park, Illinois in the past. And because parades are so mass density, there are just so many people in one place, they are always vulnerable targets. And that's exactly why there's a series of preparations that go into play. The Super Bowl itself was a National Special Security Event, or NSSE, which had law enforcement professionals from various jurisdictions involved in planning. But despite the best efforts to protect the Super Bowl and now the parade, because there are just so many people involved, it is hard to have 100% confidence in security. Now, right now, having worked on the response to Highland Park and other mass casualty events, I can tell you the immediate focus is multi-layered. In the first instance, authorities are working to mitigate any loss of life and any medical issues that may have arisen either from the actual shootings themselves or people trying to flee. Anytime you have individuals trying to flee an event, there's risk of additional damage, whether from crowd control reasons or heart attacks or otherwise. There's always that concern. Further, family reunification is top of mind, and authorities have set up a family reunification center as far as we know. We understand the ground who was taken into custody. And Paul and Alyssa, thank you
Yeah, they
so much
witnessed
for
the
being with
shooting.
us. What a
It's a
terrifying
shame.
day. Paul, you were there, and there you shared video here of the moment that you helped tackle this person. What can you tell us about what happened in that moment? Uh, I just heard somebody yelling to stop this guy, tackle him, and he was coming in the opposite direction. So you don't think about it. It's just a reaction. He got close to me. I got the right angle on him, and I hit him from behind. And when I hit him from behind, I either jarred the gun out of his hand or out of his sleeve. Because as I'm taking him down to the ground, I see the gun on the ground. So I take him down, and I put all my body
Great Sumerian.
And I'm standing there for about a minute or two. Me and the cops didn't even have like one or two words. Once they had him and got him cuffed, I sat there for 2 minutes with all my three daughters, and then we walked away. We headed toward our car.
I mean, it's incredible. And you're there with your three daughters. I mean, obviously, Alyssa's with you now. Paul, can I just ask, when you say that the gun, you don't know whether it fell out of his hand or maybe out of his sleeve, right? And when he went down, then the gun goes on the ground. Did you see him fire the gun?
No, no. I did not see him fire the gun. When I tackled him, I seen what I seen. Like I said, out of his hand or out of his sleeve, and I taking him down. I seen the gun on the ground.
And Alyssa, you're there with your dad and your sisters. I know you took this video after when your dad had tackled this man with the other Good Samaritans, as he describes it, and then the police officers come as your dad just walked through. So now we see the multiple officers have this man pinned to the ground. What did you see during all of this, and what were you even thinking watching your dad do this?
I mean, it all happened so fast. I think the most alarming thing was when we saw cops chasing people, and then seeing a young teen or kid just completely coming at us. And then I noticed just everybody in the crowd just kind of scatters and runs. So from that moment on, I knew, okay, something wasn't right. And so seeing my little sister along with my older sister just completely run, and I didn't want to leave my dad's side because who knew what could have happened or if they needed help. So I was just there to make sure, his hat, his phone, his wallet didn't go missing in the process of, him getting this offender down.
He protected his
Well, I know police
family.
at this point don't really have any details. I mean, they say they've got individuals, and I guess it's unclear if one of the individuals that they are holding right now is the man that you tackled. We don't know yet, unless you know. But we don't know a motive. I mean, did you hear anything from this man when you got him to the ground? Did he say anything? And what did he look like?
When I tackled him, when I took him to the ground, he was wearing like a big, bulky, like work jacket. So when I got him to the ground, he was face down, and his hoodie was on. His hood was on. He was face down, and I was on top of him, keeping him down until, like I said, another Good Samaritan was holding him by the waist down with his body on him. So I really did not get a good look. But as I was holding him down, I didn't know if he tried to bite me or just tried to claw at my hand. So I took my hand and put it outside to hold him down with the jacket in between us. Because he was, I'm holding him down. We're fighting each other. He wants to get up while I'm holding him down. Then another guy helps me. And then, it seemed like a long time, but it's probably like 15 or 30 seconds.
I can only,
He was fighting the whole time, fighting the whole time.
This is just sad, y'all.
We were fighting him to keep him down.
Great Sumerian. Great Sumerian.
He had one gun, he may have had another one.
This is the man, y'all, who tackled the alleged gunman.
Now it gives some context to what you're saying, that it could have been in his sleeve, right? I mean, when you talk about this bulky jacket. Alyssa, this happens, and your father runs to tackle this man because you hear shots, and this guy's running, right, with his bulky jacket. Can you describe what the shots sounded like?
So from the moment, it all happened so fast, like I've said, but it wasn't long after the celebration was all done and everybody was kind of dispersing and going back to their cars. Probably a minute or so later, and you just hear pop, 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 pop. And like I said, we were at a celebration, and I think a lot of people thought it were fireworks because nobody really ran or anything. And I assumed if people, noticed it was gunshots or something, then we all would have.
Well, y'all, I'm glad they caught the dudes. And it's sad that you can't celebrate in this society like this. This Kansas City, y'all the won. Kansas City. Now, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Kansas City won. Now the Chiefs lost. Oh, that's right. The Chiefs lost. What's the name won? San Francisco won. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me correct that. Kansas City Chiefs lost. They couldn't take a loss. I guess they said, why y'all out here celebrate? But at least they did go to the playoff. You know what I mean? I forgot San Francisco. San Francisco. Okay, y'all, let me get my tongue right. Okay, so I got to say it right. Kansas City Chiefs lost the playoff, but they also celebrated because they made it to the playoff in their city. You know what I mean? So there was a parade shooting. Here you go. You got one unalive, 21 injuries, and 9 children shot. I didn't hear this part now. I didn't hear nothing about the kids. But they was doing something nice for their city. But if you live there, why you acting a fool? Society. Lord, this is second time something don't happen in Kansas City. I guess the spirit don't went there, y'all. Remember the 3 men froze out there outside? Lord, how much?
When gunfire came out of nowhere, and here's what we know right now. One person died in the gunfire. 21 others were shot, many of them.
That woman lost her life.
9 of the shooting victims were children. We know more now about the woman who died. This is Lisa Lopez, a local DJ and mother of 2. At this hour, police have 3 people in custody. And tonight we're hearing from a good Samaritan who tackled one of them as he tried to run. They'd been celebrating their Super Bowl win on a carefree spring-like day, but in an instant, as bullets sprayed Kansas City's Union Station,
why he shooting like that?
People found themselves running for their lives.
All of a sudden, people started crushing forward. Everybody started running, and someone was screaming, shots were fired, shots were fired. He's been hit. I was just telling everybody to get down, and like get out the way. We didn't know what was happening, but this day and age, when people run, you run. And it struck me that when I was a kid growing up, I wasn't taught how to shelter in place with an active shooter. We had things like tornado drills.
Fortunately, first responders had already pre-staged for the giant Chiefs victory parade when the mass shooting unfolded before them. Ambulances rushing gunshot victims, 9 of them children, to area hospitals as multiple suspects were quickly taken down, one of them by onlookers like Paul Contreras.
So I went to go tackle him, and another gentleman did the same thing. And as I'm tackling him, I see his weapon either fall out of his hand or out of his sleeve. When we tackled him, the guy came out. And I seen that hit the ground, and I'm like, oh, we got to take this guy down.
Police say they took 3 people into custody and recovered at least 1 firearm, but have not said what led to the deadly shooting. The fatality identified as Lisa Lopez Gallvan, a DJ for a local Kansas City radio station, and the condition of more than half a dozen other victims said to be immediately life-threatening.
What you saw happen was why people talk about guns a lot. We had over 800 officers, and there still is a risk to people. And I think that's something that all of us who are parents, who are just regular people living each day.
But you know what, y'all? I'm going to stop this right quick. Why are these city governor and mayors and talking about gun violence, and y'all the one let this pass the law? Y'all passed this law. You knew when you passed the law what was going to happen. You knew this. You gave people an opportunity to try and like it. You gave people an opportunity to not even think. Y'all can't get, y'all, then the mayor and everybody getting on here complaining. Y'all didn't have to pass the gun laws, modern society. But this what happened when y'all pass it, okay? All right. You know good have to suffer with the bad.
Other victims said to be immediately life-threatening.
What you saw happen was why people talk about guns a lot. We had over 800 officers, and there still is a risk to people. And I think that's something that all of us who are parents, who are just regular people living each day, have to decide what we wish to do about it. Parades, rallies, schools, movies, it seems like almost nothing is safe.
In public, police have offered no motive. Nothing yet to suggest what led to this carnage, but
It's sad, y'all. I really don't know what to say. It's we living what we doing, y'all. What's going on in the world, y'all? Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on in the world. Y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all already know.
Having issues with your webinars.
Out of there right now. So we have no idea, but it's just. You heard shots inside the Union Station too? That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I heard. No, we tackled him. We tackled him.
typically when we have a double upload day, it's a cause for celebration. There's so much news going around that we can't keep track.
Y'all know what? I have never been at that. It just don't make no sense that the city can't celebrate making it to the playoff. A bunch of people out there, and you know they ain't gonna be able to run. But look, y'all, this here is a raw footage of when this first happened. Okay, now you see the reporter right here, right? Anybody could have got shot out there. Now, this is before it happened. Now check this out. He don't even know it's a shooting.
Guys. Something's going on. Something's going on, guys. Guys, something's going on. Guys.
Y'all hear the reporter?
Guys, something's going on.
Lucky they picked a good spot.
Today was tragic for everyone who was.
There go the mayor.
I had the chance to talk to my wife just a moment ago, who said we became part of a statistic of too many Americans. Those who have experienced or been part of or connected to a mass.
Yeah, what I always say, statistic, vulnerability. It's happening in every state. We living in our days, y'all. We living in our days right here in front of our eyes. We are the ones that witness it. We witness this. Wherever there's a crowd, this is what we gonna witness.
That is something that I hope we all recognize is highly problematic for all of us. I continue to commend our police officers, our firefighters, and others who were there to respond instantly. But we also need to figure out a way to make sure that things like this stop happening in our country.
Again, we have confirmed there is one deceased person. Our gunshot wound total has went up to 22, and Chief Grundison will provide a little bit more context to that. Right now, we're still working on a total of number of victims. This is still an active investigation. We do have 3 persons detained and under investigation for today's incident. We are working to determine if one of the 3 are the one that was in that video where fans assisted police.
Our KCFD units, along with our mutual aid partners that were working to assist us at this event, touched a total of 22 gunshot victims. One of those was a fatality. We had 8 what we considered immediately life-threatening patients. We had 7 with life-threatening injuries, and we had 6 that had minor injuries. The most serious, the immediately life-threatening injuries, we had 8 of those. Those were all transported and off the scene and route to hospitals within 10 minutes.
That's what happens with guns. I won't get in a big debate right now. I think we're still doing an investigation. But, I mean, what you saw happen was why people talk about guns a lot. We had over 800 officers there, staffed, situated all around Union Station today. We had security in any number of places, eyes on top of buildings and beyond. And there still is a risk to people. And I think that's something that all of us who are parents, who are just regular people living each day, have to decide what we wish to do about it. Parades, rallies, schools,
You
movies,
the mayor.
it seems like almost nothing is safe. And we had hundreds of law enforcement there working hard today. And I do want to echo what the chief said, who are running towards danger. But in a matter of seconds, someone who wants to disrupt anything, someone who wants to create any type of situation, or someone who is very simply reckless, can change not just one life or two lives, but almost 24. And that to me is absolutely devastating. Hundreds of more concerned as a parent just in the world today thinking about that.
I don't have the exact on the weapons, but we have recovered firearms. I don't have a number for you or a caliber. We have recovered firearms, at least one.
Sad. My children wouldn't have been out there. My children wouldn't have been out there celebrating. We'll be right there at home looking like I'm looking now. It's not safe no more, y'all. It's not safe. Modern society. And it's just innocent people out there, y'all. Just going there to celebrate. You got it. They must not. Now, look, now, I don't know what happened. Why would they want to do this around a whole lot of people? Around a whole lot of people and children. You got bullets flying everywhere. One lady lost her life. Poor baby. We're going to have to hear from her family later, y'all. Y'all see what I mean? This is so hurtful. Modern society. And it ain't the people's fault. Y'all passed the gun laws. Y'all passed the gun laws. When y'all passed that gun law, y'all knew what these folks were going to do. That's almost half of their city. All right, Kansas City, y'all as I'll keep y'all updated with the victims' families, and I'm sorry that this happened, Kansas City. I don't know. I don't know. I know they lost, but they still celebrated because they made it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? And they went too far from the stadium, people. Golly. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, okay?